My name is Dan. Welcome to my channel. Live life in your frame, which is living life in your perspective, not in society's perspective, not in TV, not in your parents, not in your co-workers, not in your friends, not in whatever someone else tells you how to live your life. Because I think that you can live your life the way that you want to live your life, and you can manifest it the way that you want to live it. And so I want to get to this concept called the golden rule, which is I think is a very, very powerful statement. It's a very, very powerful concept, and it's like being happy for other people's success and owning it as your own success. And I find it very hard because, okay, so I had, for example, I got in really good shape, and I have a six-pack, and I would get a lot of guys that would call me names, call me, bad words, and talk just dirty stuff to me, and they were jealous. I'm not trying to be egotistical here, but they were jealous, and it brought up a lot of insecurities in them because they weren't able to achieve what I have achieved. And it took me a lot of work. It took me like 10 years of figuring out how to eat, how to work out, and working out 3 hours a day, and this is something that is just passionate to me. And I don't know, they go out and party and drink on the weekend, and I don't do that. I don't eat bad food, but they still have this jealousy, and they are jealous at me, and in turn they are actually putting the energy negative towards themselves. So whatever they want to achieve, they are actually unachieving it by putting that jealousy towards me. So for example, I've had people come up to me and say, hey man, like 2 weeks ago, I had a guy come up to me and say, hey, I'm not gay or anything, but I just want to say, like, you have a great physique, like just perfect physique. And he was putting out good energy to me, but it was also putting out good energy back to him, because he was complimenting me, but it was also complimenting himself in a way. And what I learned in all the years of studying law of attraction and manifestation and all that is I used to be jealous if I'd see someone rich and driving a Lamborghini, or if someone's in a big mansion and I'm broke and poor. And all I'm doing is creating negative vibrations for myself. It's not helping me in any way. So if I were to then say, congratulations, that guy must have worked really hard, and I'm proud of him, like that's awesome, like good for him, and you see the difference of me and my energy, and then me being positive and saying, okay, like I'm happy for this guy. I'm really actually am happy. And the thing is it is hard for us to be happy for other people, because we want what we want, and if someone else has something that we want and we can't have it, our first instinct is to kind of to drag them down, or to be jealous and resent them. And I used to do that, and it didn't get me anywhere. But the thing is when you start saying, hey, like, good job, even though you could be broke. And I would have guys, and the funniest thing that I never, like, it blew my mind, is I would have guys that you could tell were straight out of jail, like they were convicts. And they would come up to me and they would say, hey man, like, you have a great physique. Like, you are motivating me, like, you have a great physique. And I was like, why is it the guys from the penitentiary that are telling me that I have a great physique? Because I think they had to learn to appreciate each other and be kind to each other, and because then they would have each other's back, and they would also, like, they giving them energy would also get energy back. And I noticed when that guy came up to me and said, hey, like, I'm not trying to hit on you or anything, like, but you have a good physique, like, it made me feel good, but I'm sure it made him feel good too, because he was like going out of his way to acknowledge and to say, hey, I'm not as good as you, and I'm not in entirely as good shape as you, but I am respecting you. And that takes a lot of courage, that takes a lot of heart, and that is what we should live by, because that will ultimately, when we manifest, we actually are manifesting when we're saying that guy, I'm happy for his mansion, I'm happy for his yacht, I'm actually saying that I'm actually desiring that, and I'm actually putting the energy out there, and I'm actually vibrating on his vibrations. If I resent him for having the yacht, I'm lowering my vibration. And it's like it's a simple thing to actually understand, but it's a hard to actually concept it and to, you know, actually play it out. But realizing that and actually being authentic with it, it really means a lot. Because when you can actually say, like, hey man, like, I love you, you must have killed it, you must have killed it in sales, you're doing so good in what you're doing, and like that person is like happy, and then he's happy, and then you feel happy, and your vibration raises, then you saying, hey, you're just a crook, you just probably stole that money, your parents probably gave you that money. Like, what a low vibration that is, right? And so I think the golden rule is a part of just treating people how you want to be treated, right? That's the whole thing is treating people how you want to be treated, but it's giving the energy to people, and then they're gonna reciprocate back to you if it's authentic. If it's not authentic, then it doesn't matter. So I put the golden rule, and it's like, think of others first. And that's hard for a lot of people, because a lot of people just want to think about themselves. They just want to be, I'm the shit, what's my day, what do I have to do? And there's very few of us that actually think of other people before ourselves. And when you can realize that we are all connected in some form of way, that thinking of other people is actually thinking of yourself too. Like giving a present to someone and seeing them light up, and you're like more happy than them giving you a present that you wanted. And it's like, why? Because you made that person's day. That made you feel so good, because you made them feel good, and that's how you wanted to be treated. And the thing is not all the time people are gonna treat you back that way. You may give a present to someone and they're like, I don't even like it, and you have to be, you know what, you have to disregard that, because that can also negatively take you down. That could lower your vibration and set them on their frequency, because they could be on a horrible frequency. Not everyone's going to be on a great frequency, so they're going to be, say you give them a present, they're like, I didn't want that, and then you're upset. You're like, man, I spent hours like trying to find this present. I went to Walmart and got this present and gave it to you, and then now you didn't like it, like, and then you get pissed off. And what did that do? All that did is lower your vibration. That ruined your day, pissed you off, that ruined your friendship with him. So instead, you just be like, well, I'll just, whatever. you know what, I'll just let it, like, he's fine. I don't know what his deal is, but I'm not going to worry about it. And so we think of others first, and we be happy and rejoice for other people's success, which is actually our success, which is that is the biggest thing that I learned is when someone is succeeding, instead of being jealous, instead of saying, I wish I was him, I would say, good for him. Like, he figured it out. I'm so happy for him. And being authentic, not joking, not trying to like just pretend, but actually just being happy for him, just being like, good job, like that. And knowing it's hard, and the thing is when I created some successful businesses, I've had a lot of failures, and I know how hard it is to create it. And so when I see something that is successful, like if I pick up something in Whole Foods and I'm like, that person put in a lot of work. And I used to be like, screw them. Like they must have had funding. They must have had like rich parents. Now I'm like, they put in a lot of work, like good for them. Like must have been a tough journey. They must have struggled with, let's say they put out a cream like for your face. They must have had to do trials on animals. They must had to figure out the formulas and all that stuff. And it must have been really hard. It must have took years to do it. And you don't understand that, how long it took. So I just like be happy for that. And then it's like, ultimately you're sending the reciprocating success back to yourself, because you understand how hard it is. And so wishing others' desires and actually wishing your success, like I said, and authenticity and transparency. I don't know why I have a hard time saying that, but like I said, it has to be authentic. It has to be transparent. Like if you're faking it, it's not gonna work, because it has to come from you. And I don't know how you can be authentic unless you truly deep down maybe struggle and like hit rock bottom and realize how hard it is sometimes and how hard life is sometimes. Because people that like have gone through addictions and stuff like that, and they understand other people that have gone through addictions, and so they really care for them because they know what it feels like. So I think the only way that you can be truly authentic and transparent is when you struggle, and when you go out there and you fail, or you just miss the mark. So I'm not saying go out there and just go out, keep failing, but you got to go out there and try. And then you realize like, oh man, that guy, he must have tried really hard too. And I respect him a lot more. And so another is avoiding excuses. Come on, like you can't excuse. That's like the number one thing. Excuse, that guy is rich because his dad gave him money. That's an excuse. If I had money, I would have a yacht. I would have a mansion. I would have everything in the world. It's an excuse, and that's just another low vibration. And if you choose not to have an excuse, you're gonna raise your vibration. You will just, the whole consensus here is we want to just keep raising our vibration and keep holding it high as we can be. And you know what? We're not gonna always have a high vibration. Our frequencies are gonna change and change, but we have to try as hard as we can. And knowing that excuses are definitely, there's no need for any excuse. Excuses are just a way for you to get out of a feeling, right? And I've had feelings of failure, and so I just say, okay, find an excuse. and the excuse makes me feel better. But it doesn't do anything for me. It still lowers my vibration, but it just makes me feel better in the moment. It's just it's just a very momentarily feeling that's gonna fleet, like, and instead of just thinking in the moment, we need to think into the long term. So the excuses be like, just be like, you know what, no, there's no excuses. So, and master yourself. That is the overall of everything, because when you can master yourself, you can master everything. And that takes a lot of patience, a lot of time, a lot of failures, a lot of successes, a lot of meditation, a lot of thinking, a lot of questioning, a lot of reading. Like, we master ourselves by doing by knowing that we don't know anything. That is the master of yourself. You can't be a master of yourself by saying, I know everything. I am the master of myself because I know everything. No, the master of yourself is the person that says, I don't know anything, but I'm questioning everything that comes to me. I question this, I question that, I question this, and I master my emotions. Someone cuts me off, I don't get mad. Someone says something to me, like when I'm running and someone calls me the FAG for no reason, and this has happened many times, and I do understand it's jealousy, but whatever that does for them, whatever that makes for them, like, whatever. But I used to get pissed, and that would lower my vibration, and I was pissed for the day. I wanted to fight, I wanted to get angry, and that was because I didn't master myself. I didn't master my emotions. Now, when they say that, and when they laugh, and when they do that stuff, I just laugh, because that's not me, that's them. And it's like, that guy has a lot of work, and I feel sorry for him. So I just laugh, and that is mastering your emotions. Another is avoiding excess, right? We don't need excess things. We don't need excess, whatever, excess TVs, excess clothes. And I was a big one on that. I used to buy tons of clothes, and they're all, I have piles of them, and they're all the same color, and I'm just like, well, I don't know what to do with them. They all look the same. We don't need excess. Excess just brings you're just buying stuff on Amazon just because it's just an impulsive thing, and that is part of not mastering your emotions. Because if you were to master your emotion, you wouldn't be just buying shit on Amazon. You'd be like, I don't need that. Because really, if you ever been in a situation and you just had like water, food, and just 2 pairs of shirts, like, I got stranded. I went to Brazil, and this is a short story, to a small island called Florianopolis, and the plane, what is it? I can't think of it. The flight guy, I don't even know what the guy, flight attendant, the whole plane didn't work. So the plane was just, we sat on the plane for 3 hours, and I had to sleep on LAX overnight, and then they had to fly me to Miami, and I had to sleep overnight there, but all my clothes and everything was gone, and I just had a shirt and a shorts. But I lived through it. I didn't need excess. I just had whatever. I had some toothbrush that I found. Like, you realize that we get excess for no reason. We buy these things because we think we need them, and then when we don't have them, we realize we don't really need them. So it's just buying it for stimulation, for dopamine. And then kindness, when people even kind back, like I said, and if you don't go after it, it's never gonna work. And if you don't, like, that's the thing. And I realized that because there was so many things I wanted to do and I didn't go after it because I didn't believe in myself. Well, that's not gonna work. Yeah, how could it? But you'll never know. You'll never know. It could fail. It could fail. And a lot of my, let me say, like, I've done over 10 different online businesses and most of them failed. But the thing is, after the fact, I know now that I went after it and it failed. So there's nothing like, and also I moved around all different places, to Las Vegas, to San Diego, Santa Barbara, to Austin. Like, they didn't work for me. But I didn't know. And so I'd always be like, I'm so stupid. Why did I move there? But I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that I was gonna be, that wasn't gonna like it. I didn't know that wasn't gonna fit for me. So we have to go after it, and then that's when we learn that we don't like it, and then that's when we learn what we do like. And if you don't ask, so if you ask, it's given. And there's a book called Ask and It Is Given, and it is by Jerry and Esther Hicks, and they talk about you asking, and you're asking the universe. The universe is providing you, but you have to ask in a way as part of the law of assumption, or the law of allowance, and allowing it into your life. You have to be okay with what's going to come to your life. You're going to have to be okay with some of the good, some of the bad. You're going to have to ask for it. And you're going to have to be okay. Like, okay, maybe I want to be let's say I want to be a skateboarder, but I'm going to have to tour all the time. And you know what? I'm not going to be able to see my girlfriend all the time. Well, you ask for it, but you sometimes you have to give up something in order to get something too. So nothing is always going to be just, oh, we're going to get everything, and my girlfriend's going to be there, I'm going to make money, I'm going to be a skateboarder, I'm going to do this and this and this. So, but we first have to ask, and then it will be given. And then I really, really, really recommend that book, Ask and It Is Given, by Jerry and Esther Hicks. They talk to this spirit guide called Abraham, and Abraham is the spirit guide who tells them basically why we are here and what we are born here for, and we have chosen what we want in life and what we desire in life. It's a trippy book. I know it's trippy, but if you are a trippy person, then yes, you should read that book. But it has a lot of good stuff in it. It's a very, very, very well read book. So Asking It Is Given by Jerry and Esther Hicks. And if you have read it, comment below. If you use the golden rule, comment below. I really think that the golden rule is probably one of the most foundation, like, you have to use this as the foundation for all your success, because without the golden rule, your life is just going to be a mess. So let me know below, hit subscribe. I'll see you guys again.